we just approach the game like every game. You know, we got to come in and do our job when we're needed.
Does it say something you think about you guys that are not the number one backs, but you guys are all productive when you get in games?
That's just how it is. You know, I mean, we're like the Justice League. Everybody's a superhero. You know, when it comes down to it. But you know, we just gotta know what we gotta do to get the job done.
4-0 to start the season. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels great, but you know, we just gotta keep this going on. You know what I mean? We can't get too high about this because you know teams are gonna give us their best every game.
How hard was it to put them away? I mean, obviously you guys built a big lead, and it got scary for a second.
Yes, you know, we kind of mentally fell off. You know, penalties killed us, but that's just something we're gonna work on in practice.
Being able to start 4-0, I know you touched a little bit, but obviously this was one point set. Historically, you guys haven't done well, and how important was it to get off on the right foot?
It was very important to get off because, you know, past few years we lost here, you know, while ranked 2. So we just made sure that, you know, we had to start off fast. We didn't finish the way we wanted to finish, but we got the W.
Did it feel like you guys had a bigger lead than what you guys had? It might have caused you guys to fall asleep a little bit in the second half?
Like I said, we just mentally killed ourselves. You know, that's just something we got to get better on. And I know for a fact that we'll get better on it.
Oh, that's great. You know, especially week 1, get our team started off the right way, coming on the road, winning the conference. That's the most important thing you can do in this league. You know, win that conference play.
When your first 3 defensive possessions, interception, and then you guys get pinned at the 40, no points on it. Did you guys get a big high off of stopping them 3 times when they had a good position?
I mean, as a defense, that's just how we play. If you guys have been watching us for the last 3 weeks, we're a relentless defense. And, you know, we play to make stops. And you know, we create turnovers as much as we can. We got guys running to the ball. And you know, that's sort of, it wasn't, you know, necessarily those plays that gave us that adrenaline, but just continuous stops, you know, knowing what we can do is what really gets us through.
Where do you feel like your guys' front seven matches up against anybody in the country?
I'll go against anyone in the country.
They have, their quarterback's really mobile, but you guys kind of shut that down a bit. What did you do to key against them?
You know, I got to thank our coaches for that. You know, we got great players that can make great plays, but our coaches really schemed it up great. We knew what they were trying to do. We knew how they ran their pass offense. We had schemes that protected our outsides, that got them scrambling when we wanted them scrambling, kept them in the pocket when we wanted them in the pocket, and really you just got to thank our coaches for that.
You mentioned about the start, but what about the finish? You guys weren't able to close the door, you know, with, about 9 minutes to go, and it was scary for a second.
Yeah, you know, we struggled at the end a little bit, but our offense did a great job controlling the ball. You know, you're right, we didn't rack up points, but we were up 2 scores, 3 scores, so we controlled the ball, and then when our defense needed to make stops, we made stops. I believe, you know, besides that one long touchdown, it was, you know, a 7-point second quarter. So our offense controlled the ball like we needed to, and then our defense stopped them like we needed to.
And lastly for me, what is it in the third quarter? You guys have yet to give up any points.
I mean, that's just our defense, man. We got a bunch of guys who run around and make plays. You know, we played a couple games, and, you know, last week we didn't give up a touchdown. This week we only gave up one on one, you know, damn near Hail Mary pass. So, you know, we just got dogs that are going to play. Our defense is one of the best in the country, and I'll stand by that statement against anyone, and it's just exciting to see him out there playing.
He's a running quarterback, so all you just keep him in the barrel and we did our job.
Did it feel like that frustrated him that he couldn't use his feet?
Oh, yes, most definitely. No, we just have to do our job. The 2 turnovers that Ely threw, it happens in the game. That's what defense is for, to help the offense out. So we did our job and came out with a W.
What is it coming out at halftime that you guys have yet to give up any points in the third quarter?
Consistency. Do our job. Fill your gaps. Stay in the right gaps. Do your job.
Well, I mean, first of all, it shouldn't even come down to that. You know, first ball into the wind. You know, really shouldn't have made that choice. And then second ball, just good defensive play. But I got to take a good job of controlling the football, and that's a credit to their defense doing a great job. But what a great stops by our defense, man. They played unbelievable.
Does that give you some confidence knowing that they had your back?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you try not to think about those 2 plays, but you know, they come in there, they haunt you every once in a while. I'm sure I'll be thinking about it afterwards, but again, those guys made a great stops on those two turnovers and did a great job.
I feel like the offense is clicking a little bit better.
You know, I was really proud of finishing the game with the ball in our hands, something we hadn't done in the last few games, where we can just completely, you know, put the game away. And this week we finally did it. That's a credit to our O-line, really getting a good push off the ball, the first and second down, and our wide receivers blocking on the perimeter.
So far, you guys are going into week 6. Kareem's touched the ball 24 times, but you're rushing game is still going. What does that say about the guys behind him?
God, those guys are doing great. I mean, Mark Remy, Damian, and Terry, gosh, I mean, what relentless guys, really unselfish. They don't care who gets the credit. They just want to go in and play their game, and really done an outstanding job.
On that one touchdown drive, you had it was 8 plays and you ran 7. Did it feel like just keep running, just make them earn it?
Yeah, I mean, running ball was successful for us. So, with the look that they were given, we thought that was in the best interest to get the ball rolling, and just offensive line and the perimeter and tight ends did a great job.
Through the first 3 games, seemed like the passing game was kind of off. A few overthrows, a lot of drops, but after the first 2 interceptions, I think you had like 8 or 9 completions in a row. Is it just a really good week of practice leading up to this game?
That's a good point. We did practice very well this week, and kind of things just started clicking. We said, hey, we got to get this going, or else we're not going to get to where we want to go. We're not going to win this game. So I think just kind of a flip. It was kind of just everyone just kind of hunkered down, went back to what we practiced on and had a great game.
Quick, let me give a lot of credit to Ball State and their kids. I thought they never quit in the game. Really proud of our kids in terms of. I thought there were some times in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the football game, and then the last 4 or 5 minutes of the football game that I think we could have really got rattled. But I thought our kids stayed the course and obviously made some plays when we needed to on both sides of the ball. So. That said, I'll certainly open up to you guys.
You got your quarterback goes out in the first 2 passes, throws interceptions. Your defense says, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about what that defense, those 2 stands by your defense, what that meant.
Well, I thought it was huge because I thought it really gave the composure back to those offensive kids. You talk about the difference of when you turn the football over and them having the ability to turn those into points. I thought that was such a huge aspect of the first half of the football game. And then we got into a great rhythm offensively. But I don't think you get into a great rhythm, if you're in panic mode, and that defense really was able to shut down the panic mode.
You've been through this drill before. MAC road game, rotten weather, good team. How precious is it to get out of here with a win?
Yeah, and that's what I told our kids. The great part of it is ultimately you come here and you want to win the football game. And so that part of it is great. Obviously, our goals and aspirations are better than how we played at times, in my opinion, in the football game. And so, you leave here wanting a lot more than what you got in terms of execution and some detail. But to win the football game, obviously, is the ultimate goal. But we still got a lot of work to do.
How big was that play by Allen? Looked like he had a clear touchdown, and Allen was able to get his fingertips on it.
Yeah, shoot, a huge play. So I think that was a 3rd down play, and it was really just a heads-up play by him because they had it. Obviously, we were in man coverage, and I don't think we got our guy around to get through the mess, and it was kind of the game-saving play within the football game.
Your defense, the first 2 possessions, obviously, then the 3rd one they get, Ball State starts at the 40, and at the end of the game has several chances and got hardly anything out of it. How much did that set the tone? Yeah,
I think that's huge. And again, it's a very veteran defense. These are now kids that have been in our program 3 or 4 years. And, obviously with Coach Haycock now settling into his 2nd year. And, schematically, we really haven't changed throughout the course of time. So I think we're really starting to settle in, feel comfortable. And I think those are the expectations that you have of a very veteran team on that side of the football. And I thought that showed today in some critical situations.
What do you think led to penalties today?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, that's disappointing, and I'd really like to. I think I got to go back to the film and evaluate that. We can't have those things happen if we want to get where we want to go, and so it'd be an interesting for me to evaluate it and then have a better answer for you maybe on Monday.
I can't find the page I wrote it down. So I'm working from memory, but I think you've given them 52 points in 4 games, playing 2 power conference teams, pretty good MAC team.
Yeah.
But has that allowed you to be? I mean, is that the number one thing you look at to what your team has accomplished?
Yes and no. I think ultimately what you hope to accomplish is win the football game, and I think we've been able to be a more complete team than we've ever been at this point. And all I mean by that is, we've executed at times in all phases to help each other out. And today it was defensively, when the offense wasn't functioning early and late, the defense kind of came to the offensive side. We've made some huge plays throughout the early part of the season on special teams. There's been times we played really well on offense. I think the one thing this team has done really well is they picked each other up, and that part about it I really appreciate, and that part about it has certainly helped us. But to get where we want to go, there's going to have to come a point where we're going to have to be able to click all 9 position groups playing at a really elite level, and right now we're not there yet.
Is that the best rhythm your offense has been in the second quarter?
Yeah, second, and then even at times in the third quarter, we shot ourselves in the foot as we crossed over the 50, and those are things that again, just not good enough, and so we're gonna have to go and evaluate where those breakdowns came, how they came, but it was really great to see us, into a great rhythm, really functioning, and I think we all know we've got some really good players there. There's just a lot of newness, but again, now we're going into the 6th game of the season. That newness can't be an excuse anymore.
Are there 9 position groups?